So, real quick. So, what happened was, I don't know how well it'll pick it up there. I don't know if any of you know Cutters. By the way, episode 11.
No, 9.
So, it had, I don't know if it was cedar or some kind of wood here on the sides.
Okay, yeah.
But it wasn't screwed in. It was just like glued on.
Okay.
That's the way it came.
Mm-hmm.
And I like things that have like metal and wood. I like the contrast or whatever. So, I got it, loved it. And this girl that worked at La Casa del Puro should have probably known cigars and stuff better.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She's like, oh my God. Well, she had it like this. She's like, oh my God, that's so cool. How do you open it? And she pulled the wood off. And I'm like, oh. Dude. And the funny thing is, Haas even took it and tried putting whatever glue, wood, whatever. And it would not stay on. I put super glue. I kept it on there. I put a clamp on it for like a day and a half.
Nothing.
And then I went like this and pew, just flew out. It just would not stay on. And then finally I thought maybe if I have somebody like drill a hole and use these as like.
But it was glued
from the factory. It never had any screws or anything.
Well, maybe it's an epoxy.
But wouldn't even like super glue do the same?
No, but I think epoxy would be stronger. If not Gorilla Glue, maybe.
But needed you back then.
Gorilla Glue.
Mm-hmm. This is not a commercial for Gorilla Glue, but yeah. So ever since then, I'm like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna keep it like that then. But yeah, it had a nice like almost like a rosewood color.
Yeah.
It was
Unless
really nice.
Zycar can come send him out one.
Well, actually, I think they're guaranteed for life. So I think if I had sent it back,
you might have.
And my lighter is another one. It's just sitting there in my drawer. I should have sent it back. It's AJ actually printed out the thing like 3 years ago, the return thing.
So it's becoming it's a little cycle.
It's a trend.
Yeah, and yeah.
So anywho, how was your week?
Good.
Yeah,
it's a good week. Always good.
Good. Like that.
Yes. You got a
Black Market, Alec Bradley. My go-to. That's probably the one that I've smoked the most in all these years of smoking. I think this is probably the one that I've smoked the most.
And I'm smoking a Viva La Vida Club 500, one of my favorite ones, top 5, to say the least.
Really?
Yeah. Gifted to me by him, of course.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
My co-host. Oh, is this the only one you got?
Well, I have another one, but the other one's a Lancero.
Oh.
But that's why I was like, because selfishly, you can have this one or the S2E11, but I figured I'd give you something better.
Yeah.
But I have a Cuban in there, so I'm like,
yeah.
I kind of want that one to myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to do maybe a Cuban review or something.
Yes, actually, I would like to do a full-on cigar episode.
Sounds good to me.
I've been saying forever to do a 101. Like when we started coming here, that they started talking about like, oh, well, what can we do to bring more people in? I'm like, dude, have a cigar 101. In my experience, most people, and I've said this before on here, most people are a little intimidated because you're going into a place that you don't know. You're going to do something that you don't know, and you have that hesitation of like, am I doing this wrong? Am I cutting it wrong? Am I lighting it wrong? And if somebody actually had a place and did a cigar 101, it would ease that tension because already know they're going in there expecting me to not know this stuff.
True that. Right? You never know.
And that's another thing. You know how guys are. Like, we joke around a lot. So you come in and you don't know. It's like, come on, you don't know cigars, bro. It's like, but we're joking. But some people take it to heart and now they don't want to try it.
Yeah, but just like here where we're at, Current Place Cigars.
Yes. A lot of roasting.
Lots. I mean, and it's more like family, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A lot of friends, mostly family, but it's the first thing that they told me, and my brother Bill said, if you ain't got thick skin, he's like, just turn around, And,
I mean, don't get me wrong. You're more than welcome to come hang out, but if you're going to sit within the inner circle, yeah, you're going to have some thick skin.
Very thick skin.
It's all with love.
It's more like rhino hide. Thick skin. Cause,
right?
Yeah, some days, I don't know. But it's cool,
If we're not messing with you, we're probably not liking you very much. If we're pretty quiet and just let you kind of fade away, bye.
Yeah, so, yep. Well.
That being said, what did we watch? We actually need to try to start doing a little bit of a script.
Okay.
Because we come in here guns a-blazing.
Guns a-blazing.
And don't get me wrong, it's fun and amazing, but yeah, I think we need a little more structure.
I'm fun, he's amazing.
There you go. So I still haven't started Squid Game.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, almost everybody around me has been mentioning it.
Okay.
So obviously I'm going to try to make it a point. But I have a lot, because there's Venom, No Time to Die, and Squid Game. Those are the three that I want to try. I want to try to do. I still haven't seen Venom, dude. And that's the other thing. We need to try. Well, you're better at it than I am, but I need to try to be more on top of it, because we're talking about things 3-4 weeks after the fact. Yeah. So, anywho,
we'll get it.
We'll get there. I mean, if anybody wants to throw donations our way, I mean, it'll help.
Free tickets, movie tickets in Newark.
It'll help, just saying. No, actually, my thing is time, because I got the girls during the day and I work in the afternoon. So this week, actually, Cinda's gonna be off and my mom's there, so maybe we'll sneak away and go watch Venom and No Time to Die. You only saw Venom so far, right?
Yeah.
And you've finished Squid Game?
Halfway. But did you watch The Saints of New York?
I did. So we're going to do obviously nothing from Instagram, because apparently I didn't send you anything.
There wasn't too much, actually.
Yeah, well, I didn't really go through it, to be honest, but nothing that really popped out. So I guess we can kind of just jump into. Something. Well, here's one that we could discuss real quick, because this caught my eye. Will Poultier, I don't know if he's French, whatever, has rumor that he's been cast as Adam Warlock. I find it really surprising that nobody talks about Adam Warlock, because he was obviously teased at the end of the second one.
Yeah, Guardians 2.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dude, like when I saw it, like as soon as you see them, you're kind of like already knowing. And then when she's sitting there all pissed off and says, I shall call him Adam, and I'm like, and everybody else is just sitting there like, yeah. So I'm like, dude, you guys need to research more about this shit before you watch the movies, because
you do not understand Adam Warlock.
So that's gonna, and I figured it was about time that they brought him out, because they did hint at it. So
yeah, I actually just got something from YouTube from Everything Always breaking Adam Warlock cast.
Oh, no kidding.
So yeah, like this morning.
There you go. So that's the thing.
Yeah. So they have casts.
I can't think of where has he come out? What has he done?
Didn't he do that with Jason Sudeikis, that road trip one with the family?
Oh, he's the one that's you guys got paid?
Oh, and he shows his balls or some shit, right?
Yeah, that's another. Yeah. No regrets.
Is it really him?
I don't want to know. He wants to know. I don't.
Yeah. No, is it really like the guy? It looks like him, right?
That we're saying it is?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is. It really does look like him. He has that kind of like you do, those eyebrows that kind of just the devil horns or whatever.
Oh, fuck. He's in so take a clip of that. Damn it.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? And actually, you should be saying thank you, sir, because there are so many other ones that I could use, but I don't, because I know you're, I won't say vain. I'm going to say conscious.
Very
of myself. Yourself. Not self-conscious, but conscious of yourself. There's a difference. So that's that for Instagram, which I think will give us a lot more time.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is good.
Definitely.
Obviously, I think, well, do you want to start with What If, or do you want to start with the Saints of Newark?
What the hell? Wait, hold on. Look at this. September 1st. Are you serious? I'm looking up Adam Warlock and blah, blah, blah. You know, whoever it's going to be. I got Zac Efron as Adam Warlock. That's as of September 2021.
You know what I will say? I was kind of like, Zac Efron, another pretty face, blah, blah, whatever. Dude, that kid actually has some comedic chops. Like, when I've seen Zac Efron.
Oh, yeah.
He's funny. Like, another one is Channing Tatum.
Yes.
Dude.
Well, he came out in Free Guy, and I didn't realize it was him. When he came out in Free Guy, I saw it, and I was like, that guy looks like Channing Tatum, but they never he never took
showed
us.
him.
Yeah, he never took us. And then when he came out at the end, I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. The one that I talk about all the time, and I'm gonna forget the name, of course, because that's just how we do. That's what we do.
That's how we do's it.
Oh my God, Seth Rogen and the buddies that they're doing the end of the world. This is the end.
Oh yeah, is that when they fall in the hole?
They don't fall in the hole, but there is a hole.
There's a hole, right?
Yes, one of them falls in. Yes.
Okay,
Did you see it?
Yeah, yeah. It's been a while, but
I absolutely love that movie. It seems like most of it is like improvised.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's so funny. Channing Tatum in that movie, like he's the little lapdog that.
You know, I always get that one confused with what's his name, Jack Black. What's that movie that they did where the big ass devil comes out and is freaking?
Oh, their movie, Tenacious D and
Pick of Destiny.
Pick of
Destiny. Okay, yeah, that's the one.
That makes sense because there's a big there's a big demon person in this other one.
Is there too?
Yeah, because they
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying.
Stronger long.
Mm-hmm. So, anywho, I don't know. In Marvel, we trust. We keep saying it over and over, so it should be good. Whoever they pick, I'm sure they'll do fine.
I think it'll be great.
So, What If or Saints of Newark?
Let's do What If, because
okay. I'm gonna throw in my vote and see what you think, and feel free to say no.
Okay.
I honestly think Saints of Newark first.
Okay.
Because I think it's gonna be shorter.
Okay, then yeah, let's do. Well, you also didn't watch Sopranos. Okay,
and that's part of what I'm gonna say.
Saints of Newark, then.
So Saints of Newark, we shall start with, and we'll start with you because I'm gonna shit all over it.
Shit. Okay, so
so not to put any pressure on you, but make this good because you're about to try to convince me that
to watch Sopranos or that you're wrong. Oh my God. It was great.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll put the pressure on myself and I'll tell you that way we end on a happy note rather than a down note. I absolutely fucking hated it. I'll start off by saying the thing that I think you sent it to me, that saying that you don't need to watch The Sopranos to enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
I call complete bullshit.
Okay.
Because the reason that I didn't like it is nothing fucking happened. Nothing. Like usually it's one major plot point.
Mm-hmm.
Girl gets kidnapped, guys goes to save girl. Like you can explain it that way. I've been trying, like I cannot explain this movie to someone other than to say it's a prequel for The Sopranos. That's it. Yeah. I can't explain a plot line. There's no fucking plot. Like you're literally just seeing a day in the life of the young Sopranos. What happened in the movie? Like, what's the plot? Other than saying this is what happened, why Tony becomes Tony.
Yeah.
Even he's not a major part of the movie. It's more focused on the uncle.
Yeah. Because he was the leader, and he was the one that ran.
But dude, all it basically was is he was pussy whipped and he did dumb shit for it. But it wasn't even dramatic enough. It was just like a story that your fucking family tells at a drunken party one night. I didn't feel like anything fucking happened.
Yeah. And I think it's more of like an origin story to Tony Soprano. You know what I mean? And
now, in that sense, I think if I had seen The Sopranos, I think I would have liked it better because it feels like they were doing the whole... the fan service that we always talk about with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they mention like this character, this, you know, he doesn't like this or he does that, this is the way he is.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that explained because he's in the show. Like when they did the big pussy.
Okay.
And it's like, it's not what you think, father.
Yeah.
Like if you're just watching, I know it because I saw the references here and there. So I know, but anybody else that's watching that movie that doesn't know about The Sopranos at all, I have no idea what the fuck that joke is.
So it didn't come across like The Irishman, where it's like
I honestly can't say because I never finished that fucking movie.
I
tried, but
I watched it. I think I watched it twice,
and it made me have that final thought before I bogart this thing again. That's another thought that I had, that I'm worried that fucking Marvel and geek movies are ruining me for regular movies.
Yeah,
because I'm bored with these now. Like The Irishman, I'm just like, blah blah. Like something needs to happen. Not necessarily action.
Yeah.
But I don't need to hear.
You want the story.
Yeah, I want a good story. Yeah. And Tarantino does dialogue very well. He can make you sit there and watch a 10-minute conversation and you're interested. But these other movies don't really do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And nothing is happening. I got a total Goodfellas vibe, and Goodfellas did it way better.
You know what? Okay.
So, anyway, I'll shut up now.
My turn.
Yes.
So, I guess the way I see it is, it is, a fan service to everybody that watched Sopranos religiously, you know what I mean? Because it was such a long-running series.
Like 12 seasons?
Yeah, something like that, But I know that even his son, James Gandolfini's son, playing his younger self in the role as Tony Soprano, I think that was really good. You know what I mean? So that was mostly the hype of him, doing that, following in his father's footsteps.
I'll give him that. The kid did a hell of a job. I haven't seen the show obviously, but I've seen clips.
Yeah.
He's got mannerisms and stuff now, which you would think because he's his son should be easy.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily the case because Jaden Smith doesn't do well being a younger version of his dad.
Yeah, that's true. I don't see him doing well West. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
It's only 6 seasons.
Anyways, 6? Yeah. Shit, you said 12, right?
I thought it was 12. I thought it was more. 6 seasons? That seems really short. Anyway, so other thoughts.
It being origin story for Tony Soprano, then that's the story that I watched. You know what I mean? They showed all the other characters, everybody that was in his group, his inner circle. You know what I mean? Christopher and all the Big Pussy and all the guys that were there. You know what I mean? When it kind of it didn't show their origin stories. It showed them younger and what they did and how they always did what they did. You know what I mean? His the tight knit group that he had. But first they were his uncles. They were his uncle's friends.
Right.
They're doing everything for his uncle. You know what I mean? And then when Tony came out, he didn't want nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? So he was just like, this is not what I want. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
And then all this, everything, all the build up for him to actually say, you know what, I'm gonna, this is what I'm gonna pursue. I want to be a gangster or whatever.
Right.
But I do see it. It was just a lot together.
2 hours.
Yeah.
It's a 2-hour movie.
I think they just kind of they could have split that in two or did a mini series. I think they would have done well with a miniseries and then kind of like put everything together. But I think it was just so much information, that they wanted to cram in there. You know what I mean? In order to get it out, that's where the plot line or the story didn't make sense because it had its ups and downs where it did make sense and then it didn't. And it was like, okay, what is this? This has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a little back and forth.
I think if I technically have the time, but what I think would be really interesting is to watch The Sopranos and then go back and watch the movie and see how much my opinion changed. Because I really think, like I said, for somebody that watched it, but especially somebody that is a fan, I think it would have been a completely different movie. I was watching it straight up just like, okay, I'm going to watch what's supposed to be a decent made movie and about gangsters.
Okay.
And as far as the technical aspects, the cinematography, the lighting, the sound editing, all that stuff, which I kind of pay attention to, it was a really good movie. Shot well, directed well, acted well. I didn't complain about any of that while I'm watching it. But I didn't get the gangster movie that I was thinking. And I blame Martin Scorsese for that because even though I shit on him a lot, he set the fucking framework and it's hard to make a gangster movie without emulating him.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that, and I'm not a fan of The Sopranos because I haven't seen it, so I think I missed it. So I honestly say, if you haven't seen The Sopranos, I highly recommend watching that first, and then, even though I haven't seen it, I think that's the best way to watch it.
Yeah.
Do you think that somebody else, maybe it's just my opinion, but do you think somebody else would have the same opinion, like, now that you've seen it, do you think you should watch The Sopranos first?
I think so, too. I mean, I'm not going to force it or say, you have to do it. I mean, it would be better only because you'll know Tony's storyline and all his, the gang, the mobsters that he's with. You'll know who they are because it does give you like little snippets of the guys, in the movie. But it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a storyline. I think that's what it is. That is kind of a little thrown off. And it's unfortunate because I figured, this would be like a break-in so that you can watch, The Sopranos. You know what I mean?
Honestly, that might have been another problem that I went into it thinking I've always wanted to watch The Sopranos for one reason or another. I didn't get around to it. And I thought this was going to be like, dude, now I definitely need to watch The Sopranos. And I didn't get that. Like, I'm still going to try it because it's such a huge, iconic part of cinema history, I guess. And I don't know if it technically is cinema, but I'm going to need to watch it at some point. I like the gangster. And, dude, I'm old enough that I'm coming from the Godfather era.
Yeah.
So it's like everything to me is going to be compared to that. Granted, yes, the third one sucked ass, but the first two are, dude.
I've never seen I've never seen it.
No, you're fucking with me. You're fucking with me.
No.
You've never seen
I don't
Godfather?
think so, no, dude.
Dude, what, are you like a big gangster movie fan?
I mean, I
like watching. You enjoy them, but you're not like make it a point to watch them.
That's one that I just never watched. Yeah, I've seen Scarface like 20 times, but The Godfather, you know what I mean?
Well, see, and the funny thing is a lot of people don't... A lot of people don't know that technically Scarface is a gangster movie. Not... Well, because everybody thinks of the Al Pacino.
Yeah.
But that's not the original. There's another one which was actual Italian mafia. That's the original Scarface.
So I didn't see that one either. But no, I didn't see The Godfather, sorry.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's on my...
Dude, now I'm excited because I'm like... I don't know which one to suggest first because they have, of course, 1 and 2, which I believe, I might be mistaken, but I believe that's the first movie, the first sequel that people said was better than the original. Because that's the thing. Like, the sequels are never as good.
Yeah.
But
so this one,
Aliens and The Godfather are the two that I hear the most that were actually better than the original.
Cool.
So, watching the first one and the second one, that seems like a no-brainer. But there's a cut... because the first one is The Godfather. The second one, they're kind of bouncing back and forth between how Don Corleone became who he is, because Robert De Niro plays a young Marlon Brando, but they're also jumping back and forth between the old and the current. So what somebody did is they did a super cut where they put it in chronological order. So you see Robert De Niro young, the young Don Corleone, and then you see Marlon Brando as the older, and then you see the son take over, Al Pacino. Okay. So they put it in chronological order. Dude, I'm almost tempted to say watch the first one, watch the second one, and then go back so that you can get more in depth and watch the chronological one. Dude, it's so fucking good.
So you watched it like that?
I saw the first one, I saw the second one. Unfortunately, I saw the third one, and then because the chronological one came out like I want to say like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's fairly recent. Or maybe more than that.
But you haven't seen that one, the chronological.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you saw it?
Dude,
watch
them too? Oh, I love The Godfather, dude.
So then watch them all? Or watch them just in that
Honestly, you could probably skip the third one altogether and it's not going to be
Is that the one with Al Pacino?
No, that's the one with Andy Garcia.
Okay.
Al Pacino's in... Well, because he takes over for his dad is Don Corleone. He takes over when the dad dies.
Oh, okay.
So he's in all of them.
Oh, okay.
It's mostly the story about him, even though Marlon Brando is kind of the father figure. It's more about Al Pacino's character, Michael.
Cool. All right.
But yeah, dude. That's funny. That's interesting that you haven't seen The Godfather.
Yeah, sorry. It's... Sorry.
We'll have to make a complete show about that one. That's blowing my mind. But then again, I still haven't seen Ready Player One. So.
And I like how you made that face. Anyway, so Sopranos. Me, because I watched The Sopranos, I know the characters. It was very like I was very anticipating it. I can't even talk. I was anticipating this movie for the last year. I think that I give it a 6.5.
Now, was that before I started shitting over it? Or?
No, just you know what I mean.
Even
still, I still give it a 6.5. Because now that you kind of you kind of give me influence. Yes. Shit. Maybe I should have given the rating first and then asked you to talk.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to ask you to do. Because I'm like, I want to see if it changes, and I don't mean to do it on purpose. It's just that I don't know.
I think it was more so the nostalgia. Here we go again with the nostalgia. Everything from our old schools coming back, and that's why we give it more credit. Everything that's nostalgic to us, we give it more credit, even though it fucking sucks. We're still like, oh, it's so great because when I was a kid. And I think that's what it is. It's just the nostalgia of The Sopranos bringing this movie into it. It was very anticipated, even though the storyline wasn't great. You know, you just kind of like brought it to fruition. You know what I mean? I was just like, you know what? Yeah, that does make sense. The story's not that good.
Well, see, and it's funny because actually, I think we kind of did what we usually do because I did that to you, but then now with the way that you put it, now I'm like, actually, I do want to watch The Sopranos even more now because it makes sense. Like you have to be not have to be a fan, but you probably need to have watched the show to get the full effect of it. So whoever said that you don't need to watch The Sopranos, I call bullshit. I think you definitely do need to watch it. He doesn't want to say definitely. I will say definitely. You definitely need to watch it because it didn't seem to make sense.
So you're saying if it was a standalone movie, it would have been like nothing?
Dude, no. Yeah, okay. If I didn't have something to look forward to after the fact, like watching the show, no. As a standalone movie, hell no. I think that's almost by design because they are doing the fan service.
Yeah.
They're drawing from the original material heavily. Like if you don't know these characters, I'm telling you, like that big pussy line.
Yeah.
Anybody that never even, they might have heard of The Sopranos but don't know the characters and don't know anything about it, that one line is going to completely miss them.
Okay.
And I'm sure there's tons of them that I didn't pick up on because I haven't seen the show that were in there.
Yeah.
Like, do you think can you think of any other ones?
I don't know.
That callbacks to the show that because you saw the show, but I probably wouldn't pick up?
I don't know, dude. There was just so much like little details of like, I don't know. Especially you obviously didn't get the introduction scene, right? Where it shows all the tombstones.
No, because they're taking audio clips from the show, right? Yeah. Well, see, I figured that much by what they were doing. I'm like, no, okay, it's probably because the audio even sounds a little like pre-recorded. Like obviously it's pre-recorded, but it sounds like it's from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's what they're doing here. That's pretty cool. But then I don't know the names. I don't know the characters. Yeah. So when they're talking about this and this happened and this and then if you haven't seen The Sopranos, I think it was a spoiler. Pause real quick, go do that, or skip like the next 30 seconds or something. I don't know. Figure it out. Did they basically spoil how Tony Soprano dies?
No.
Because doesn't he say something like, "This is my uncle, Baba, and he's the one that kills me"?
No, that's Christopher.
Okay, so they still kind of. That's not from the show. That's from the movie then.
Yeah, that's from the movie.
So they're spoiling the end of the movie.
Yeah, because it's Christopher's voice.
See, that's where I got confused because I thought it was Tony that was narrating the whole thing.
I think. No.
Mm-mm. So no, Tony's not narrating any of it?
No, not that one. No.
See, that's where I got confused because he says, like, he comes in, I'm like, so did they just fucking ruin the end of fucking Sopranos for me? Because
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, you're safe then.
You're good. With that being said,
this might get cut out, but knowing me, probably not. But do you want to check the timer?
Yeah, 26 seconds.
Okay, go ahead.
We're gonna get cut out. Probably not. Damn it.
Wait, what?
God.
Amazing. Oh, you're gonna check. Anyway.
So
and action. What are we talking about? Saints of Newark. Yeah. I think I'm gonna agree. I think I'm going to also give it a 6.5 just because it's not, like I said, technically speaking, it's not, as far as technicals, it's not a bad movie. It's not shot poorly or directed poorly or any of that.
Yeah.
But it needed something else. So hopefully I can get through The Sopranos. We can do re-review and see how much it changed.
Well, now that you know that it's only 6 seasons, it should be a little easier. But, I mean, we're stacked.
But that's
so much crap to watch,
dude. That's what I was
saying. Not crap, but you know what I mean. We have a lot of good stuff to watch.
Yeah, because people said, "Have you seen Squid Game? Yeah, have you seen this?" And I'm like, dude, if I watched everything that I want to watch, I honestly would need to make this my full-time job. Yeah. There's no way that I could watch because there's so much stuff that I haven't been able to watch any more episodes of 9 Perfect Strangers.
Oh, you didn't finish it?
No, I haven't.
Really?
Okay. Just the first episode. That's all I've been able to watch. Cinda's really interested in doing the group thing.
That'll work.
No. The Chingo. The group podcast.
Okay, thank you. I got scared there for a second. I'm like, dude, we're close, but not that close.
we're close, but not that close yet.
He's rubbing my feet with his foot.
That's can't not my see foot.
It. Oh my gosh!
That joke's gonna be. Oh, anyway, the American Horror Story. It's technically 2 different storylines in one season.
Okay, and I haven't even watched the first
chunk. I haven't watched the last 4 episodes.
I haven't watched the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, so you're way behind.
Yeah.
I said I was gonna catch up on The Walking Dead. They just started the second half.
My gosh, I'm almost caught up. I think I need like 3 episodes to catch up to wherever they're at. Because I don't know.
I think they just started the second. Because you know how they do it in halves.
Yeah.
I think they just started the second half of the final season. So dude, I need to catch up because those spoilers are gonna come quick.
Jeez.
And I want to watch it.
This season's really good. To the point where I was watching it and I watched 3 episodes in a row, dude, because I couldn't stop watching.
Fast forwarding?
What do you mean?
Because that for the last 2 seasons, that all I do is fast forward.
Why?
Just
too much
so
talking.
Much.
Well,
and again, unnecessary backstory. Like, I don't give a shit. That's what
those
Fear
are like
the Walking Dead should probably be for.
So there was you're talking about it's like the storyline, but where they cut to singles. Like, okay, we're giving you the storyline of so and so. These last 2 seasons, when they do that, it actually makes sense.
Okay.
Because the other ones, like when Morgan, did you watch that one? They did the standalone episode. That's what I meant to say. Did you watch that with Morgan? So you know Morgan, right? He's the one with the. Okay, so there's a standalone episode with him, and spoilers. It's how he learns to fight.
Okay, yeah. See, well, that makes more sense. But I'm talking more about the character development that they try to do, where they have 2 people go off on part of the mission that they're doing, and they're having this long, drawn out conversation about something that happened to them, or it's a character development between those 2, which usually at the end of the episode makes sense because one of them's gonna die or something. But I'm like, I don't really give it they're not that important to the overall story.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know, but I'm gonna try to catch up. So
I think it does good. It does good, again, fan service.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that's the word of the day.
Mm-hmm. The word of that's our show motto. That in Marvel we trust.
Yeah. But I think it does just give it just a little bit more. And I think I enjoy it to a certain extent because it does get kind of a little drawn out. It's like filler. That's what I see. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of filler where it's just well, let's just put this in there because we need this. We don't necessarily need it. What I meant to say is, but let's just put it in there because it still works. Might be a little bit boring, but it still works. So I think that's what they do with that.
I got you.
Catch up. You need to.
Yes. That one I'm definitely going to do that one. Dexter's almost out.
Right? Oh my gosh.
We're going to get too caught up in that stuff. So, what if? What's the name of this one anyway? What if
Ultron became a big pussy and didn't eat worlds? I mean, Voltron. His name was Voltron.
Voltron. That's right. We called him.
We dubbed that here. He was dubbed Voltron.
Thou shall be known as.
And if Disney wanted that Voltron, they would go buy it because it's Disney, and you don't fuck with Disney.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
This thing says 18 episodes, dude.
Well, then maybe it's season 2.
What?
Okay, so we just realized that there's another season.
You heard it here first. You probably didn't, but whatever.
9 episodes on season 2 for What If.
Mm-hmm. What if the Watcher broke his oath? Oh, okay, because he technically got involved. Okay. I could see that. Because when I was watching...
How? Oh, yeah, he brought them all together.
Yeah, when I was watching I'm like, he did... Yeah, that actually makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Guardians... I'm not going to say that. I thought I was going to ruin the last one, huh? So, thoughts?
Okay, so it brought all the multiverse together, which we kind of already saw happening.
Well,
or it was kind of like
the What If multiverse together.
Yes, that's what I meant to say. And we kind of anticipated it was already okay, that's what's going to happen. You already knew that something like this was going to happen, and it's not high up there for me.
To be fair, it's the I mean, you can do that with almost any movie, any show. The very, very end is usually not that great because everything's already happened. Think of like the end of Endgame. Mm-hmm. Like all the action stuff already happened, but the last part where it's the funeral and all that stuff, it's not that great because the action already happened. Lord of the Rings, they get rid of the ring, and then it's that whole like 30 minutes of him going to the closure happy place and so it's not really supposed to be. I can't think of a movie or a show that's ever had like like right till the very end you're just like fuck it.
So I have something. Just remind me, just say Black Widow whenever we're done with there. Just remind me of Black Widow. I have a shitty memory. I don't think that it's ranked too high because of that. And there's been so much shit being put out there about, we're talking smack about Voltron, and how. Just get into it, dude, because I just want to spill the beans.
Okay, which I'm finding very interesting because I don't know, I haven't heard anything or read anything, and I figured it. For me, the biggest thing is I'm gonna definitely go back and watch these last 2 episodes, which I always say, but I never do. But because it's supposed to be what if, but there seems to be so many inconsistencies, like Thor's hammer thing that still bugs me.
Excuse me. What do you mean?
I can't think of any one particular one. I'd have to be watching it to remember exactly what I was thinking at the time. But something happened, and I'm just like, that doesn't make any sense. That even though it's supposed to be like a different dimension, that doesn't make any sense. Like that should not be happening. Like Ultron should not be able to do what he does, even if he had the Infinity Stones. That doesn't make sense. It's almost like kids were like, oh, can you imagine if this? Can you imagine? It doesn't seem to be as well thought out as I expect Marvel to do.
What don't you think that's the premise of What If?
That's what I'm saying, though. That's kind of the point. But I'm like, that doesn't. I don't know. You're probably right, but there's things that I'm like.
So in other words, it's like Thanos had all the stones. He should have broken the multiverse.
Kind of like
why?
Like if Thanos, who is not a supercomputer, thought of doing what he did, and just somebody's trying to attack him, it's just like, nah, fuck you. Mm-hmm. Ultron being the supercomputer and having every possible thought that could exist, he didn't think to just snap them out of existence. Why is he fighting them? Just snap them out of existence.
Okay, so that's
that type of thing.
Yeah, and that's what I was, that's what he's getting a lot of shit for, because the previous episode, he was over there eating galaxies. Mm-hmm. I mean, was he actually eating galaxies, or was it like a metaphor? We're just showing how big he was. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because you don't know if he actually ate it. It just showed him, with his mouth open over a galaxy. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know what I mean? And then him kicking the watch, him kicking the Watcher's ass. You know what I mean? Because you think, the Watcher's is supreme being, Mm-hmm. But then it's like, is he, or is he just like?
That's the other thing that made me think like, okay, so maybe the Watcher is not as high up there as we think he is. He just happens to have that one ability to watch everything,
but not be able to fight.
But they haven't explained why.
Yeah,
they just barely introduced the Watcher. So for all we know, they're gonna explain it later. Later.
But he did throw a hell of a headbutt.
Right, dude, I felt that one.
But
what's the name of that video game? You remember from Sega? Bonk. It was a little character with a big huge head that would go around headbutting things. I
think, was he a caveman or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, okay. This is where I'm getting at.
Okay.
That everybody is talking so much shit because he was fighting with the Guardians of the
Multiverse. That was actually kind of cool.
Yeah. They dubbed them, or the Watcher dubbed them Guardians of the Multiverse. So that's the premise of the shit. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, he was bonk. The thing is, like, why was he actually fighting? What was it? What was the reason he was actually fighting? Mm-hmm. And is it okay? So is it because he lost the Mind Stone? When they took the Mind Stone away from him, because they snuck up on him, pulled the Mind Stone out, right? Mm-hmm. And then they shot him in the eye, mm-hmm. and then they put a virus in him, right? Was that At the very end?
Again, that's another one because I'm like, dude, he has the stones, and yet a fucking computer virus still would beat him. Like it just
he is all computer.
That was a plot line from like the 90s.
Yeah,
that's some Matrix shit, which I love the Matrix, but I don't know. There's too many things like that just don't. This guy is blasting between dimensions while fighting the Watcher, and that's how he goes out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason it's not high up there, and I'm not giving it that good of a rating.
Yeah, but like we were saying, it's the last episode, so it's the conclusion, so it's probably not going to be the best.
I also saw, and it kind of made sense where they put it together of how almost every single episode is doing Tony Stark wrong. He's dead in practically all of them, and then he goes, and it's him and Gamora. And we'll talk about that storyline because that had nothing to do with anything, and all of a sudden Gamora's there. You know what I mean? But that's besides the point.
That was one thing that I thought was really cool, that how they made Gamora like a major badass.
Yeah,
I would have liked to see more of that.
But again, they did Tony wrong. We're like, no, not you, her. You know what I mean? But
which I'm curious what the TikTok that you sent me, where they're explaining that's one of those. They explained it earlier. In Doctor Strange, I forgot what they call it, but like a point in time that is unchangeable.
Yes.
And they were explaining that's Tony's. It's like it doesn't matter how many different versions there are.
He always does.
He's always going to be that one thing, that constant. But yeah, I'd be interested to find out from the showrunners what thought process it is. Is it something else? Because dude, they're doing Tony Stark so wrong. I'm loving it because I'm one of those contrarians that like, yeah, he's cool, but he's not that fucking cool.
He's that fucking cool, dude. He's that cool.
You're like a Tony Stark. You're like a mini Tony Stark.
Yeah.
You're a tiny Stark. Oh, Bill, Jimmy.
That sucks.
He's not Tony Stark. He's Tiny Stark.
Oh my gosh.
Aww. Anyway,
can I get a shirt? Tiny Stark. I am Tiny Stark instead of Iron Man. Okay, so Gamora being in that episode, I don't know if that got explained. Did you hear about that?
No.
So she had gotten sick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
that she's supposed to have a bigger, like her own. It was supposed to be 10 episodes, not 9, and she was supposed to have her own. That's right.
Yeah, and that's the reason she was back, and everybody was like, well, why is she there? It doesn't make sense because she came out of nowhere, but, the end was already made, but they pulled her out because of her getting sick. So, we'll see in season 2.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll throw that one in. That one makes total sense that they would throw that one in. I'm excited for season. I mean, the overall season, not as good as I was hoping, but good enough that I'm a little bit, fuck yeah, I'll watch a season 2. Hell yeah. They could do so many more things. I think another thing, to be honest, did you watch any more of Visions?
I watched them all. I finished them.
Okay, so we're going to probably get into that then.
Okay.
Real quick. But because of Visions, I think I liked What If even more. Because Visions was so fucking bad. But we'll get into that.
Well, you saying that, but there was a couple of other episodes that were...
And Visions?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. No, it's not like standalone episodes? Yes, and we'll get into that.
So what if?
Yeah, it's not the best episode. I found it funny because I've seen a few people doing like their version of their favorite or the what order. Agent Carter's like number 7, number 8, and almost all of them.
Really?
And to me, I'm just like, dude, like I get it. The Doctor Strange one, pretty arguably the best.
Yeah.
What If Ultron won? That one's going to be high up there.
Yeah.
But I really, really enjoyed the Agent Carter one. I don't know. Maybe because it was first. Maybe going back and watching it, and I was like, that's kind of boring now compared to the other ones. I loved the whole, like I said, apocalyptic thing with the Black Widow and
the zombies.
And
when
Ultron won.
So if you were to say, we're not going to do top 9, just do top 5.
I don't even know if I could get past the 3. It's tied for first, unfortunately, because I still haven't decided which one. It's If Ultron won, Doctor Strange, and Agent Carter, which it probably shouldn't be, but honestly, that I still throw Agent Carter in there. Okay. 4 and 5. Ooh, I can't think of the other ones.
Party Thor.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, Party Thor is by far the best one. zoom in here. Just, I'm trying to think of what other one is in there. Party Thor and the T'Challa one, not so great. Zombies, eh. So that's already 3, and I already did 3. So what are the other 3 that I'm not thinking of?
The Killmonger one?
Well, how about we just do this?
I know, right? So there's Killmonger.
The Killmonger again, that one's like...
it was okay.
Okay, so... Oh, the World's Mightiest Heroes, if they lost to the Wasp... Not the Wasp, but Hank Pym.
Yeah, Hank Pym. I didn't like that one either.
Yeah, like, actually, it's the 3 worst, the 3 best, and the 3... okay, whatever. Yeah, because T'Challa, Party Thor, no. Not good at all. Killmonger, What if they lost?
So then these last 2 are going to be your... Well, the last one is going to be like a meh.
Yeah, that's also another... That's one of the 3 meh.
Okay.
It shouldn't be, because it's the last one, but...
Yeah, it is kind of...
Yeah, I think...
It would be like my number 1 meh.
Yeah. Of the mess, that was top.
Dude,
just
make a new rating?
The top meh. So, yeah, I'll definitely watch season 2.
And you know what? That's the same thing. Those 3 were like my favorite ones. So I'm full agreement.
Well, we'll have to at some point talk about. We'll have to set a hard. This is number 3. This is number 2. This is number 1.
Okay.
I have a feeling that our third is going to probably be the same, but 1 and 2 are going to be
a little
reversed.
Yeah.
So we can end it. How much time do we have? Did you notice?
We have 9 minutes.
Oh, that's plenty of time.
Yeah.
Well, that's plenty of time to do an hour.
That's plenty of time to do an hour. Yes.
Fuck it. It is what it is. Because I think the clips episode is helping.
Yeah.
So
Visions.
Visions.
Disney. It's a new.
Let's pull that
Star
one
Wars
up because we can. Go through real quick.
So. Okay, at first glance, I thought it was going to be like a series, like where it's continual, you know what I mean? Same characters, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we talked about it, I only had seen 2 episodes, and I didn't even get through the second one, which is the ones where they're small. What'd you call it? The
chibis.
I was going to say charcuterie.
Mm-hmm.
The chibis. Yeah, the chibis. Anyways, so I ended up watching them all, and I did my own reviews, and I tried to voice record myself. It's so I can remember, and I never even listened to them again.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How long is it? Do you remember more or less?
What?
The audio.
Like a minute.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like not even a minute, like 60 seconds.
That.
No,
I'll put a
no.
little filler. No?
No. Anyways.
I still want to get you to do a solo episode. It's fun. Anyway.
So there's, how many episodes? There's 9 episodes. And I think that my favorite one was the first one, the duel.
Yeah, I was going to say there's no way that... Well, not no way, but... I think there's 2 that are pretty good. And I could not give a shit about the rest of them.
So I also liked the Ninth Jedi. And I liked the Elder.
Yeah, the Elder is the one that I was thinking. The Ninth Jedi. That's the one...
Where they go to the world. And...
Oh, they're doing the little council thing, and then it turns out all of them are Sith.
Yeah, because there was no lightsabers.
I don't remember that being a thing where it would change color depending on the character of whoever's wielding it. I thought it was a kyber crystal that...
So did I. So maybe we're just, unless they just...
Maybe.
But it's really weird because it changed, right, for that girl? It changed to green?
Yeah.
Okay, and who has green? Yoda, right?
The way that I understood it, or I thought, was green was
like
master level, and blue, but then Luke is blue, or no, Obi-Wan's blue.
Well, he turns blue. He doesn't have a blue lightsaber.
He didn't. It wasn't green.
And only one person in the whole Star Wars series, the saga and everything, has a purple one.
That whole story of why that happened, I'm like, oh my god, this fucking guy.
But anyways, I didn't know that either. And maybe it is. Maybe we need to look into it more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they did change. Because when she first lit it up, it was almost like a clear, like
yeah, that's
white.
right. It was white.
Mm-hmm. And then when she started fighting, it turned green. But I like, you know what I like? Is that some storylines were like, the Jedi, there's no more Jedi.
Real quick, you know why why they messed that up? Because if that were the case, that's what they should have done with Rey.
True.
because she had not had any training whatsoever, but she was force sensitive.
Yeah.
So she should have been able to have, or it should have been white and then change color when because hers is yellow.
But when what's the other guy's name? The one that
Kylo?
was the number. Then he was a stormtrooper, and then he converted. Finn. So, do you remember Finn picked up her thing, and it was white?
I don't think so. Was it?
Yeah, when he fought Kylo Ren, I was like, "Oh, this guy's gonna die." He had never had a lightsaber before, and when he pulled it up, it wasn't yellow.
No, it wasn't. No, because that they're using. I can't remember if they're using Luke or Leia's saber, so that's why it's already the color that it is. When she makes her own at the end of episode 9 is when she has the black hilt with the yellow saber. No, but I'm pretty sure when he picks it up, it's whatever color.
Because she took Luke back his, right?
Yeah, it's blue. It wasn't white. I think it's because it's so bright it might look white, but it had a color to it.
So then, what color is hers in that episode? In that movie,
it's always blue. Because, like I said, I can't remember if it Luke's or Leia's saber.
Yeah.
So it already has the color. I think that's the whole premise is that saber becomes that person's and it stays that color. But see, if they're doing the whole color changing thing, then shouldn't somebody be powerful enough that like when the robot Grievous
R2D2.
No, when he picks up when he collects the sabers, shouldn't they turn red? I don't know.
I just got a stupid thought in my head.
Nice.
I'm like, what is your? I was gonna say your spirit animal, but I'm gonna say what is your spirit droid? R2D2.
Dude, yeah. Duh.
Sorry.
Tangent.
I know, right? Well, okay. So what happened when Luke first gets the lightsaber from Obi-Wan? When he opens it,
it's already. I can't remember the color, but it's already blue.
And then when he comes in Mandalorian, what color is it? Green.
Yeah, because the saber that I have to look it up now because the saber that he's training Luke with was Anakin's. By the time that he does Return of the Jedi, he's now built his own. So it's now that's why I believe it's green because that's now his. It's no longer Anakin's.
And imagine all these Star Wars. The
nerds. Oh yeah, the nerds are like, "You fucking kidding me? Like,
you don't know this?
We're master geek, not master geek. What's that saying? Masters of jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah, that's us. We know geek stuff a lot. We don't focus on that one because.
But a master of what? There's a long saying, right?
Oh yeah, I actually like the longer saying, but because it's not what people think.
Yeah.
But Lapan Ocho. Akakiri TOB1. TOB1 is probably the one that I was just like, ugh.
Which one was that one?
The little robot dude, like the Pinocchio thing, where he's not a real person, but he wants to be. And like that one really seemed like it was a kid's dream that they put into us, which is kind of cool in that sense.
And the Jedi didn't have no arms, right?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he didn't have arms.
Oh, I didn't notice.
That's why he was in that. He was in that droid, and the things the droid arms would come out. I didn't notice it until I was like, oh man, he doesn't have arms.
Okay, so I want to properly shit on this one. The second one, Tatooine Rhapsody.
Yeah, no,
there was no fucking.
Okay, so yeah, no, I see. Okay, Disney, if you're gonna do like a Sunday morning cartoon, which is not existent anymore, just do a series on that for kids.
I could see that. Yeah, like the Ghostbusters cartoon where it was kind of shitty but still watchable.
Or All Stars with Michael Jordan and you remember that?
That's right.
And Wayne Gretzky, Bo Jackson, and
that's right. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, the other one, the Twins, the Village Bride. The Twins was
okay. Which I kind of got that feeling where it was gonna be like what do you call it? Like if Darth Vader had gotten Luke and Leia, that's the premise that I was like, oh, the twins are, it's going to be something like that. Turns out it wasn't, you know what I mean? They just were engineered. And and one still became a good. And one was still bad. So
overall, I'll still watch the season 2. I'm getting redundant at this point, but there's no continuity.
Yeah.
And I really wish I think for major properties, major franchises, there needs to be continuity.
Yeah.
And Star Wars doesn't have it. They haven't had it for a while. I'm still a huge fan. I still like all 9 movies. Original trilogy, new. I don't give a shit. I'll still watch them. Yes, they have huge fucking plot holes, but dude, where the fuck did Snoke come from? Like that still bugs the shit. Like I understand that he would what Palpatine was, it was a puppet for him, but still need backstory. Anyway,
so with that being said,
what
55 seconds? Yeah, we're kind of. Go ahead, finish.
That's all we have to record.
Yeah, about a minute.
Well, let's see if you can squeeze it in. Black Widow.
Oh, what if that's how they bring her back to the multiverse in true
life? That is what they did. To me, that's what they did. They're like, she can come back. That was actually really cool. I can't remember right now exactly how they did that, but yeah, I remember they did it.
Yeah.
What did they do?
Well, they put her back in one where she had died.
That's right. Dude, the only bad part about that is that people are gonna want them to do that with Tony Stark.
Yeah,
but they made it a point to say that's a definite point, so that can't change.
Yeah,
and they can bring him back, but he's still gonna die.
Yeah. Well, before we end, my brother is recording his podcast, Cinema Across Time. So hopefully we could have him soon.
Dude, and let him. I already kind of threw it out there, but let him know. Not that I'm like the greatest editor ever, but if he's still learning and he needs some help, I'm more than glad to help him out, dude. I'm looking forward to that. What's the name of it?
Cinema Across Time. It's on Spotify. Yeah. So
go check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
Start. It's pre-order it.
Love you, bro.
Guys.
Peace.